is such a challenge for us to be authentic. You would think being yourself is the easiest thing to do. Yet, being authentic is something that plagues us all and one of the hardest battles we'll ever face. Today, you're gonna learn why authenticity is so hard, covering both conscious and subconscious barriers. And finally, we'll discuss 3 key pillars to becoming more authentic. Our first obstacle is social expectations. We live in a world that doesn't necessarily reward honesty, but conformity. We're rewarded for compliance, praised for fitting in, but shunned for standing out. Each society has spoken and unspoken rules about what's to be expected. Whether that's saying, achoo, bless you, when someone sneezes, men proposing to women, avoiding politics or religion at social events, and the one I think should be law, no double dipping.
Anybody want to feed Scott Baio? It's included in the price of admission. No?
I mean, double dipped.
When we try meeting social expectations, we are attempting to please others. And by the time we're almost half, near, damn dead, we realize we've been doing nothing more than people pleasing. Adopting roles, personas, and wearing masks to satisfy the gaze of others. And over time, we become so programmed, presenting this false image of ourselves to the world that we forget who we truly are. Our second major obstacle is fear. We fear judgment, rejection, and most of all, not being good enough for who we are. And this fear we have causes us to edit, filter, and hold back our true authentic self. So we avoid the tough conversations, all for the sake of keeping the peace. We're scared to set boundaries, but get pissed when someone walks all over us. We laugh at jokes that aren't even funny. Thank you. Thank you. What happened at the fight at the candy store? The 2 suckers got licked. Our fear causes us to project a version of ourselves that's inauthentic. And then we end up attracting other people in our lives that do the same, pondering why we have so many phony people in our lives, unaware that the world reflects back what we project. We'll discuss how to be more authentic. But first, we need to become aware of the subconscious factors that contribute to it. A lot of people don't know this, but our struggles with authenticity are actually rooted from our primal instincts. Our survival used to depend on being part of a tribe, and being kicked out was equivalent to a death sentence. And this primal need still lingers on, but has evolved from physical survival to emotional survival, where our belonging is now crucial to our mental well-being. The next obstacle is our upbringing. Many of us grew up with parents who had their own fears and insecurities, which bled into their parenting style, unintentionally conditioning us to be inauthentic. For example, you may have had parents who always said, toughen up, because that's what their parents told them. And over time, you mastered how to hide your emotions. As a child growing up, our house used to be junky, but whenever we would have guests on the way, we would clean up as if the president was coming. This act unconsciously taught me not to showcase the reality of my true life, but to display an image I thought others would approve of. And I'm not blaming my mom for being inauthentic, but shedding light how small unintentional actions can make a huge quantum difference in how we live our lives. We're not allowed to blame our parents for anything except giving us life. The final obstacle is our desire to stay consistent with our identity. We humans love to cling to what's familiar. So breaking away from that inauthentic version of ourselves can feel as if we're losing a part of our identity. Are you following me here? If not, subscribe to the channel. Now, let's talk about how to be more authentic. There are 3 key steps. Number 1, accepting yourself without conditions. This means embracing the fact that you are flawed, always evolving, and sometimes wonderfully weird. When you have true self-acceptance, it becomes a hell of a lot easier to share with the world who you truly are, because the hardest person to accept you is you. The second thing, we must understand authenticity demands vulnerability, which can be our greatest challenge because we risk being seen for who we are, showing our fears, quirks, desires, and imperfections, which requires you to be okay with rejection, being okay that who you are might not be enough for others, and that's okay. Just how you don't like everyone, everyone is not going to like you. And it's only through vulnerability that true connection is possible, because that's the only way for us to find others who will accept us for who we are. And the last thing to be more authentic is stop putting the opinions of others above your own. Opinions are the cheapest commodity there is, because everyone has one. Even what I share today don't mean jiggity jack, because it's just an opinion. Becoming authentic isn't a destination, but a lifelong journey, because your identity is fluid and ever changing. But if you're willing to be persistent and consistent with self-acceptance, have the courage to be vulnerable and not giving a damn what others think, you will be on the path to authenticity. Let's just not get old together. Let's grow together. Bye for now.